Rise Nation's aspirations to get back into Pro League.
Yeah, this is pretty big because, I mean, both these teams are looking pretty, being pretty strong right now. We saw 2Faced yesterday win and tie, and so, or not yesterday, but on Monday. So this is definitely going to be a very powered map. I look for Butters to be one of the standout players here on the side of 2Faced. As I mean, he put up big numbers yesterday, 16 and 14, I believe. So,
Oh wow.
definitely some big matches from him, and a Thermite ban actually coming out first here on consulates. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, 2Faced starting on defense. It seems like they want to cripple the Rise Nation attack right off the get-go. Banning Thermite here makes attacking the garage that much harder. It just makes it so that they have to dedicate a Hibana to opening up the garage or a Maverick, and that just takes that much more time. And if they do bring a Hibana, then it just is a smaller entryway into the site to try to go for the default plant if that is their intention. And then the Nomad ban makes sense to me. I think that that's one of the top banned attacking operators on this map in general.
Oh yeah, definitely, and the Valkyrie ban coming out as well. That's kind of indicative of they're not going to want to look for any runouts coming, any of that intel on the outside. We will see the Maestro banned as well. So that's 2 intel ops banned off the rip. And with that ban also coming on the side of the Nomad, it looks to me like they're going to want to try to get aggressive. We're going to see Rise Nation try to get aggressive on their defenses. So it definitely should be interesting to see exactly how they choose to play without the Thermite and the Nomad in play, as they're just going to choose to bring that Hibana, at least right now.
Yeah, Hibana I would think would be the next hard breacher after Thermite if it's obviously not available. Doc with the Butters with the 6 pick off of Miron to Doc, I think that makes sense. I'm kind of disappointed to not see an IQ being brought by Rise. Depending on how well Dream plays the Echo and where he places them, this could be a real problem for them. But defending right away, going straight to the garage, which now that Thermite is banned will be the most defensible site. It's going to be interesting to see how they do this. We've seen some defenses in the past on this map where players will, play a mute or a Jaeger inside of the bathroom, or at least dedicate someone to playing in the bathroom. Reinforcements obviously being placed to deny as much intel from the bathroom hatch as possible. That extra reinforcement there makes it so that Hibana cannot open up that wall and look to the back of White Van, fortifying that position even further, which I would assume that Butters will be playing the Doc behind there at some point in time.
Definitely look for those ACOGs to be a big presence here, especially in the garage, where there's going to be those long angles held outside by the car and also just on the ramp as well. Looking here just generally at the push, it seems as though we're going to be seeing the admin take. We have some players on the rappel on that east side, and they possibly have some drones set up to guide them through this push, as they're just going to do a top-down take. It's the safe push on consulate. You'll normally see an admin take by most conservative teams, and that's just going to be the easiest way to clear out roamers and to push them all back down towards the side. Of course, they're going to have to set up some flank drones and some claymores possibly to deny the push back up Visa or Spiral or even Yellow Stairs, but overall it's a very safe push.
Well, basically, there hasn't been any, there's no contest yet upstairs above the site. Seems like all of 2F have just ran their way downstairs, just going to be anchoring all 5 downstairs. Vandal setting up his drone in the Visa area. We saw that before to make sure that nobody flanks up. Beastly was holding the flank on the Yellow Stairs earlier. And they're still just taking their time, eventually going to get into Piano and open up the floor above Bandit to try to open the wall. With about 1 minute and 30 left, they're going to have to start making something happen. I know that they're positioning themselves well so far, but Vandal's still not set up quite on the flank yet, but he is going to be watching from the hatch, so that's very nice there. Good angles there. The floor is getting opened up. The Bandits are getting removed, and now the wall should be getting opened up soon. And then it'll be all up to Rise to drone in and figure out how they want to plant and where they want to plant. Still no action from either team yet. No, I don't think anyone's even really seen each other other than on cameras. But as I say that, England will take down Butters. Doc off the board. England opening up more and more of the site and the bathroom just to make sure they can rotate around as quickly as possible. Creators in the kitchen holding an angle onto yellow stairs. Pre-fire a little bit, not yielding anything yet. More of the site is getting opened up above, and with about 50 seconds left, Rise Nation are looking in good position to try to go for a plant.
Yeah, looking very strong right now. They've still got some nitro cells to deal with, possibly creators and crazy, but grenades are going to start to get flown through as the floor is starting to get opened up above. Creators just looking back to see if he can't spot where the sledge made it. Nitro Cell will go through. It's not going to land anything onto England as Adam will pick up the second kill for his team. He is going to get pushed by the Jaeger, though, and it will be the gunfight going to Filthy as he rotates up the spiral stairs. The plan's starting to go down from Beastly, but it will get taken off, possibly due to a gas canister or the Echo drone. Actually, it'll be Filthy, though, coming down the yellow stairs. Will he be able to get Sledge? Yes, he will. A double kill for him. Oh, he hits the nasty headshot with the pistol into England. It's all up to Vandal now in the 1v2. 1v3, actually. He'll make it a 1v2 with that down onto the Echo, though. He'll get a kill onto Creators. It's a 1v1, but he's going to have to go for the frag, and it's Filthy with the clutch and the insane play on yellow stairs.
Yeah, great play by Filthy there to actually run past the player inside of Piano, just ignoring him completely, and also able to have the wherewithal to know that once he's able to kill, I believe it was Adam on the spiral stairs, that he has the ability to go for a flank at that point, assuming that they had called out the positions of the attackers, assuming that one would be in Visa watching the flank. You know, Sledge is upstairs still, reconstructing the floor, one going for the plant. So that gives him an opportunity in a hole to push through. And since he did ignore that player inside of Piano, he just came straight down yellow stairs and denied the plant immediately, putting pressure on Capital.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Seconds remaining.
Why do it yourself when rope?
Let's do it better.
Yeah, and also now knowing that the defenders are not going to be going downstairs again, Rise has opted to bring a different operator instead of a hard breach. This should add a little bit more utility and flexibility to their lineup in terms of the way they can attack things. Obviously, Dokkaebi has grenades now, makes her a little bit more effective than she was before, but I'd be really interested to see if the grenades actually get used effectively and where they're going to get put, because you know they're going to want to take control of yellow stairs if this is going to be a console push, which seems like that's what it's going to be at the moment. Adam rappelling up onto the skylight. Is he going to catch anybody? No. There's a castle barricade in his way that he can get rid of, but he's going to go up to the top of the skylight to get rid of it. No. Obviously being told by his teammates they need him to rotate to a different position. Going to be rappelling onto the bathroom maybe after he opens it. He has already placed his claymore, so someone's going to have to be watching his run out to be careful. He is actually going to rappel back up onto the spiral and just now try to get rid of the castle, I assume. That's the, what I would assume the next play is. Yeah, opening the castle and now trying to set up something else for his team using his concussions, I would assume.
Cover me!
Tossing EMP grenade. Babes in position.
Shock ready. Break flight.
Yeah, this is really a botched push from Rise right now. They've definitely wasted a lot of utility trying to get this Jaeger out of there, and still haven't gotten rid of him. Acid not being as quick on the draw as he needed to be to catch Jaeger running down the stairs. As the position of his firebolts was good to force him in a direction, but nobody there to meet him. More flashes coming in now, and he's going to be able to run back into the bathroom with pretty much the same scenario, getting a kill on his own and a kill from Filthy, adding on to it. Oh, Creators with the shot straight up into the skylight too. Fantastic play. Beastly now all on his own. No utility left. Is going to just have to push straight up yellow stairs or, you know, sit outside. There's really no other option here because with 20 seconds left, there's literally nothing you can do. So with the botched utility there, Rise are just in an awful scenario. They couldn't push out yellow stairs, and it's halted everything. And Creators, it looked like, will finish that off with a 4K. So great start for a couple of the 2F players, and not looking so good for Rise. Still no IQ being brought either is kind of curious, especially since I feel like the Echo drones or the Echo pick is being publicly displayed to them. Like, just bring an IQ if you are having trouble getting rid of that stuff.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to players on a team switching around operators as to who they play, I think what they're trying to do is position each of their operators in the places that they need them to be, but letting the players themselves choose as to who is most comfortable playing certain positions, given that they have the correct operator to play that position. So obviously on that last site, Creators was more comfortable playing on yellow stairs with Jaeger than, say, Filthy was. And I feel like they are switching back roles because I believe Filthy was on smoke the round before that, playing inside a projector. So they've kind of switched positions, but there's nothing wrong with that if they can execute the way that they are at the moment. It's really on Rise to try to fix the issues with their attacks, because after that last attack, I feel like that would give a lot of confidence to 2F in terms of the way that they're defending and the way that Rise are attacking.
Changing mags!
Attackers drop the diffuser.
Drone activated.
Yeah, that's the pick you want. If you're going to go for a pick, you want to take out the operator that has all the utility on the attack. And now Butters is going to attack on top of that, taking out England. Sledge off the board. That's just a good angle for him to be holding, or for Butters to be holding, I'm assuming. Yeah, he's just watching towards yellow stairs. And another shot from Butters, a wallbang, fantastic. Adam drops the diffuser now on yellow stairs. There's no way for them to know that, as Vandal is going to be pushing towards Spiral and whiffs his shots, and Crazy just cleaning up here. As Beastly, once again, the last one alive, still outside. However, this time he does have one more logic bomb, 2 grenades. Still not really much he can do here. He's going to call, trying to reveal any of the defenders' positioning, or at least get them off of their sights for just a moment. But it looks like he's going to walk right into the sights of one of the defenders laying on the stairs, and Jaeger just playing there, being played by Filthy. The confidence to just sit there and wait, even while getting phone called. Oh no, the mute jammer stopped it. So well-placed utility by the defenders on top. And 2F looking, I think that 2F are playing as well as they need to, and Rise are just not performing at the moment. They are, having issues on attack, which is weird, because the last time we saw them play this map, it took them a few rounds to wake up when they started on defense, and then on attack they didn't lose a single attack. So based off of that, I'd say this is not looking good for Rise at all.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers. Bomb located by attackers.
Reinforcements in place!
Loading new magazine.
Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go.
Place!
It was Obey.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
I'm actually mistaken. It was not. It was not Obey, because they just played them on bank twice the other day. But yeah, but on this map, you are correct. They had a rough start on defense, and they really need to wake up. They need to rally back here. They need to start not only just being a little bit more organized as we're used to seeing them, but just start hitting your shots, because they're just not. Like I think like you said, they're not hitting their shots, and they're being a lot more unorganized than we're used to seeing them. And 2Faced are going to capitalize on that. They are a good team. They're not going to, 2Faced is the kind of team you give them an inch and they're going to take a mile. So Rise really need to rally back and actually start putting some rounds on the board. We see them setting up the way we saw before, but I feel like 2Faced are just going to be anticipating that, and I hope that they're more prepared this time for the flank coming up spiral if they start applying pressure, or at least a flank from anywhere, because they're going to be waiting for it. And we're actually not seeing a Jaeger on the board this time, opting to bring a Mira instead. So a little interesting of an operator selection there.
Located enemy basement. Changing marks! Activating drone. Grab the drone, straight shot too. Frag grenade out. All set to blow up! In position. Drone deployed. Reload!
Or just try to force the defenders to move from their position and anticipating some kind of a push that isn't coming, maybe walking into an attacker's line of sight. But 2F, too seasoned for that kind of tactic, aren't going to fall for it. They're still all holding their position, as England is going to get blown up by a C4 from creators. We saw him holding that C4 in the kitchen for a long time, waiting for just the right opportunity to throw it, and is now going to be playing behind the mirror window with a bandit on it to make sure that it can't get opened up by Hibana to prevent the peek. Filthy has flanked now, and is going to be looking the wrong way for just a second. Here's the player running down spiral. Does Adam know? Adam actually is going to get taken out instead, while Vandal picks up a kill onto Butters. Vandal now watching the rotation into the garage as the plant is going to go down. They have to watch the top of yellow, which they are, but a C4 is going to take down Acid. More Echo Drones going to be disorienting the attackers, as Filthy still coming up from behind. Somehow can't down Beastly, and he's finally down by the Bandit battery itself. Vandal coming down the stairs, but unfortunately not enough time for him to go for the plant either. The Echo Drone's becoming a huge problem for them in that scenario. If the Echo Drone hadn't stopped that, potentially the plant goes down, maybe not, but the flank and the Echo Drone are the big, pin in the side of Rise right now, holding them back from winning anything at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It just doesn't look good. They've lost 4 in a row here. It's going to be back to console for 2Faced, and we're looking at a pretty flawless half. Can we take a look at the scoreboard real quick, Cyan, if you don't mind? I know it'll take a second here with the delay, but either way, it looks like we're going to be seeing the first IQ actually taken on the board. So they don't really need
Finally.
the Hibana.
Attackers
Yeah,
need to
they don't
locate
need the
and defuse
Hibana.
bombs.
So they're going to choose to bring that IQ. And it's finally, like you said. Oh, God. Looking at this scoreboard, the
Yikes.
kills on the side of Rise are just not looking good. I mean, you can't win a game if your team only has 6 kills.
You can't win a game off of frags alone, but you can't win it. You also can't win a game if you don't have any. They're important to some degree, but not the full degree. So bring in the IQ instead of the Dokkaebi. What does this do for the attack? First thing, they're going to be able to find the Echo drones more efficiently. Second, they're going to know how many ADSs Jaeger's going to stairs, also to know how much utility they need to throw there, as long as they, don't whiff their shots. Like, I hate to be harsh like that, but that's what we saw out of Rise the last time they attacked this. They whiffed shots on the Jaeger, could not take control, and it hurt them. It put everything on hold, stalled them out, and then they were left with no options. Also, the Dokkaebi has not been in position to actually get any intel via cameras to pick up from the defenders, nor in a position to use the calls to initiate some kind of a push. So right now, we are seeing one. It looks like I think that's an Echo drone, potentially.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, it's in the shelf. He's hidden it in the shelf so that it can't get shot easily from that position. But a different kind of attack coming from Rise, just to pressure some different positions for just a moment, as they will most likely switch back over given the position of the one player on the console windows.
Dream getting very aggressive here on these main windows, and it looks like a run out from Crazy. We'll take down England. That's the sledge off the board. No more grenades. So he's gonna get immediately traded out. But I mean, you lost your oh no, oh, it just barely misses the head. Does so much damage to Acid. Only about 5 HP left on the Capital.
A bomb has been
But
located.
I mean, as I was saying, I mean, now you've lost your smoke, so the trades are probably in favor of Rise, definitely. But before, it was that sledge for the castle that definitely favors the defense here. I mean, the castle has already put down all of his utility. Those 2 grenades being very big for the attack, and with a minute and a half left, it doesn't seem like much ground has been covered by this by Rise Nation. They are still outside the building. We still have people on the CEO rappel. I don't even think anybody's entered the building yet for Rise. We have people on the roof, and this just looks completely unorganized.
2Faced right now have all the angles in their favor to guard exactly what they need to guard. They need to guard Piano, and they need to guard the site itself through yellow stairs. They have everything they need. Vandal now gone, alleviates the pressure on Piano, so they have the C4 below, but the plant is going down. The castle does get ripped down. A little bit of a bait there. C4 gets thrown at Adam with 2, or no, Adam with 1, Acid with the other. Filthy now coming up yellow. Oh, nice shot coming out from Filthy. Can he stop the plant? He doesn't have a C4 left. He could wallbang, and they actually pull off the plant for some reason. Now he's going to relocate. His position still unknown, but can't quite land the shot onto Acid. One thing I wanted to point out about what Acid did to get rid of Smoke playing in Projector, I'm assuming that rappel upside down was a bit of a bait. And yes, even though Acid took a ton of damage, in order for his operator to be utilized most efficiently, he didn't ever need to really expose himself or get into the building. He just needed to play in a position where he could use his utility and put it where his team needs it, and then watch the flank or watch, cover the planter. And that's exactly what happened. So it was a risk versus reward kind of scenario where Rise came out on top, and you can kind of attribute that to why they won that round. But it wasn't looking good for a second. I thought that 2F was gonna win out that round, but once that castle got ripped down, it was all over. I think that if they would have hit the castle to one hit instead of ripping it down, they might have been able to get the jump on the attacker planting the diffuser right next to it, But instead, he's ripping it down, giving away his position, and it's those kinds of scenarios where it's like, do we want the castle to be one hit, or do we want to have to rip it down? Do we want the attackers to potentially knock it down with one hit if they want, or do we want to have it more defensible for us so we can rotate in and out of this area? It's kind of a toss-up as to how a team plays and how they want that castle barricade placed, because that's a good castle barricade to have, but like I said, there's a couple different ways you can play it, and I think 2F getting a little bit too aggressive there even though they were trading out efficiently and holding areas they still needed to hold, it just didn't work out in the end, and Rise had the utility they needed and the positioning to get the plant down.
Yep, and we are going to be seeing our first Legion of the day, actually. Crazy flexing over to that role, but other than that, we're going to see the exact same lineup for the defense here, and again for the offense. The only switch that the offense has made has been between that Hibana role. Beastly has been flexing between Hibana, Dokkaebi, and IQ. So with it being a top floor, and they know that they can't attack, they can't defend basement yet, so they can anymore. They will be able to. No, they can't defend it for the rest of this half because this is the last round. But they can't go downstairs, so they don't need the hard breacher. And so they're going to choose to bring that IQ, which is something that you talked about, Rams, is going to be very helpful for spotting out those echo drones, as well as, I mean, possibly the ADSs and now the goo traps. So definitely a solid pick here from the attack.
Yeah, we're seeing a completely different kind of attack coming out from Rise this time. They're attacking from the admin side, the eastern side of the building, as opposed to the western side, which is what we've seen them do in the past. Acid, once again, baiting out what seemed like a run out. Yeah, baiting out a run out. Going down to going back down to low health, but still not that big of a deal if he can position himself appropriately, which, in my opinion, would be on the balcony itself. Now it looks like the attack has switched back over to the console side, feigning that pressure on the admin side of things, and the attackers are going to rotate their way back. Jaeger off the board means they can take yellow stairs faster if they want, and a little bit more spread out of an attack, and Filthy right now could go for a jump out, but is going to hear the Claymore go down, still has full control of Piano, and it looks like Ass is going to down one of the players inside Connector and is going to finish him off with the firebolt, potentially. Yes, he will finish him off, but Filthy with amazing jump out is going to pick up 2 and trade it back. He's going to get traded back as well. Adam's still on the balcony now. Another defender could potentially jump out on him if they're that ridiculous, but no, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Now Vandal has made his way into admin. He's going to be pressuring the rest of the attack now, all coming from the same direction on the eastern side of the map, as it looks like they're going to try to go for a plant here any second.
Yeah, they definitely have the advantage here, but with the goo traps as well as this echo drone, I'm not sure. It looks like it's placed just in the corner of the meeting room. 30 seconds left, and oh, this peek could be punished, but no. Beastly with the quick peek out will take down Crazy, and it's going to be a quick cleanup here from Rise as they'll make the best of that half. Coming back from 4-0, they will win the last 2 rounds and make it 4-2. So, I mean, the best that they could be hoping for, and the exact same scoreline that we saw last week against Orglis. They were down 4-2, and they came back to win all 4 of their defending rounds. So, you got to be wearisome if you are 2Faced, because they looked pretty crazy on their defenses.
Yeah, 2Faced getting a little bit too aggressive there. You know, we saw a couple runouts, netting a couple frags here and there, but it's not enough to trade in the favor of the defenders. So Rise Nation playing it a little bit slower and anticipating the runouts this time, as opposed to kind of, you know, being left clueless as to what's going on around them. So well played by them to get at least 2 rounds back in their favor. Still down at the half, 4-2. So Rise Nation now going to be choosing to go to the lobby first, which is curious, but we've seen them play this site very well before. There are some interesting holes made vertically that they use to keep control of certain areas that you wouldn't expect. Mainly the one where Echo is playing right now, looking towards the kitchen doorway if the attackers choose to come through the garage. So based on the way that the defense could set up here, it might catch 2F off guard, but the thing is, if 2F is doing their homework against Rise Nation, which I'm assuming they would, given the scenario that they're in, they'll be anticipating these angles and using them against Rise Nation instead, potentially going for some pre-fires or just avoiding those areas altogether as to not give Rise Nation any kind of advantage. So as we move into the round, Beastly's going to most likely go below and try to gain as much intel as possible in the archives area to see if the attackers are coming from Visa side. And it looks like most of the attackers, and remember the bathroom angle, Razors. We're going to see that from Adam again during this round. So we're going to see if 2F has done their homework and are going to be trying to counter that angle directly, or at least put some pressure so that he can't protect the hatch and projector as easily as he did before. Yep,
definitely going to be looking to see that. And again, Having these ACOGs on the top floor here is going to be very difficult for this attack to deal with. And we saw Adam, like you were talking about, play very well from the top of Yellow Stairs last time they went to this map. So looking to see a similar prowess from him yet again. And he has a nasty angle here. Like, look, this is so long. Like, anybody with a hollow on the attack is definitely not going to be able to contest that. And I would assume most of these attackers are going to be bringing that ACOG, but you never really know. It's all preference. It's all personal choice. So people will choose to just be a hollow main. Like, we see EU. EU is a very big hollow region.
Yeah,
a lot of those
definitely.
players will run hollow. NA, I would say, is a majority ACOG. I'd say I can say that with confidence that I see a lot of pro players run the ACOG, and a lot of these Challenger League players run the ACOG. So definitely a site of choice for NA.
Yeah, no pressure onto Adam quite yet, as Beasley is still gaining intel for his team. England playing inside of the connector upstairs can delay the attack for a very long time if he uses his smokes appropriately. But the attackers are seeming to stall out now, just gaining as much intel as possible as Vandal picks off Butters. It's a huge pick. Buck off the board with a minute left. 5v4 scenario. This is exactly what they want. Filthy has to come in big here. Looking for those echo drones is going to have to be one of his priorities as he tries to push into the site. And it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment, as Creators is going to jump in and try to cut off any rotations from the defenders through Tellers and Visa side itself. As Vandal is also pushing from Spiral Stairs, going to take some shots from Yellow, putting Crazy down very, very low. Acid still holding that angle as Vandal's looking for the push from 2F, waiting for it patiently, waiting for the plant to go down. Now the diffuser's been down, but he's been traded out immediately. Crazy now inside of sight with the diffuser in hand, could go for a plant as Beasley tries to flank up Yellow Stairs, but is unsuccessful. Creators now locking him down. It looks like the attackers have taken full control of the site, and they can go for a plant. Smoke's coming from England with only 15 seconds left now. Doesn't have any left. Filthy going to pick off one. Is now all up to England in a 1v3 scenario. There's no way he's going to be able to stop the plant, and Filthy, or I think that was Creators. Yep, Creators is going to finish him off. So a well-timed execute from 2F to realize where the holes or gaps in the defense were, and to just take advantage of that and push straight in and trade out to make sure they can have full control of the site and watch the angles they needed to. We saw Creators, after Crazy got into Piano, he ran straight to Yellow Stairs and caught Beasley trying to rotate up. If that gunfight had gone the other way, it could have been a different story, but 2F cleaning up the issues they were having a little bit there and just winning their first attack in a very convincing fashion.
Very convincing indeed, and it looks good for them. I said at the beginning that I thought that Rise would look a lot stronger on their defenses, and already starting off here with 2F taking that first round, it looks great for them. And I look to see them try to bring that momentum into these next few rounds, and I mean possibly even bring this to match point here within the next 2 rounds. I think that we could see Rise maybe pull off another 2 rounds, and then we'll see match point. Because, I mean, Rise is just so good. At some point, they have to wake up and say, yo, we can't lose this match. I mean, we need to secure as many points as we can right now. Otherwise, we might fall out of that second place spot and give it right to 2Faced. So, definitely need to see some step up here on the side of Rise Nation.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Rise now try to defend upstairs, opting to say that the lobby is not going to be as effective as they thought it would be. But still a very similar operator lineup. And same thing coming out of 2F, Gridlock being brought to cut off the flanks and make it that much more difficult for the defenders to rotate around certain areas of the map. Hibana being brought for any kind of hard destruction they might need. Obviously, I think the Hibana is being brought because they don't know if the defenders are going to go downstairs or not. Because if they were to go downstairs, they would need the hard breach, but in this case, they typically don't. But we'll see if they can come up with any creative ways to use the hard breach on this site. Maybe utilizing the Hibanas to open up a hole into connector from the windows, potentially. That would be a real pain for any of the defenders, as Beasley is going to be playing on the Yellow Stairs with Jaeger. No ADS in pocket, and just going to be holding that for as long as possible. Most likely, the attackers will focus a lot of their attention on this location, as we've seen in the past, which is generally what you need to do. So actually a track stinger being thrown down here, a Thatcher being thrown above. One drone gets taken out as Beastly rotates his way back into bathroom. If creators can hold this angle and pick Beastly off before he takes control of yellow stairs, that could be a huge problem for the defenders if the attackers can gain control of it so early.
Sensor activated.
Yeah, definitely look for them to try to gain that control and look to see where this push is actually going to come out, because they need to take control of these nitro cells from below. It's going to be big for them to try to take down Vandal or England as well as Vandal. It's going to be gathering so much intel for their teammates, and looking at the rest of this round, it seems like Beastly's already taken a bunch of damage, possibly from some grenades, I would assume, from Butters, and Gridlock Stinger's already placed on the stairs. I'm surprised that he hasn't shot those out just to make his rotation easier if need be. Filthy, though, he'll find 2 downstairs. Those are the 2 nitro cells I was talking about. That's 2 huge kills for this attack, and they're not going to have to worry about vertical play at all. The only plant denial that's left on this our defense is going to be Adam and Acid, but that's 1 gas canister dispensed by Adam with about 55 seconds left. Filthy will find a 3rd, and Butters will find a 4th kill for the round to sell all of them to Acid on the Echo to try to prevent match point in a flawless round here from 2Faced, but the plant has gone down from 2Faced, and it's a flawless round, and I believe a 4K for Filthy as he just shows up with that IQ.
Yeah, that was a huge round for Filthy, especially taking out those 2 players down below. That was securing their position in terms of executing onto the site, not having to worry about as much as they would have previously. I thought that that smoke was going to down Beastly through the wall, and I was going to be very upset because Beastly played that area as well as he could. We wasted a lot of time, but it seemed like Filthy just ran in and caught the 2 players downstairs with the C4s just with their pants down. Like there was, it didn't seem like they even shot back at him, and then he just follows it up with the remaining frags on the round, you know, helping out hit the rest of his attack, get into position where they need to. I think that Beastly did not shoot the track stingers at the top of the stairs. 1, because I don't think he was ever intending to rotate through that position, and 2, to potentially make sure that he doesn't dump his mag and the attackers push off of the potential mag dump. 17 frags for Filthy. Oh my gosh, he wants it. He wants these points. He wants 2nd place.
Yep.
That's what I call hungry. That's what I call hungry to make Pro League.
I 100%. Filthy wants this match. We've seen some crazy plays from him, some crazy clutches, and really putting his team on the back. And we saw this last week from Butters. Butters was carrying the team, not last week, but Monday. Butters was carrying the team. Butters was getting all the frags. I mean, give it. 2Faced had other players getting frags as well, but it was Butters that was the standout fragger for this team. This week, it's Filthy. And I think that just bodes to the lineup and the depth of this lineup that we have on 2Faced. They have all of these outstanding players, all with insane aim, all with insane game knowledge, looking to try to make it into Pro League and out of Challenger League. I mean, both of these teams just 2Faced have just recently been in Challenger League. So 2Faced trying to get out of Challenger League just as quick as they got into it.
Yeah, Butters holding this angle now as the rest of his team gets into position. Not quite sure what kind of an attack this is going to be yet. They're all pretty spread out. Dream is going to be watching the flank, or at least setting up a drone to watch flank inside of Visa. As ultimately they're going to want to get control of Piano and open up the wall. That is going to be objectives for attacking the bomb site in Cafeteria and Garage. Adam's going to be watching a very nice angle on top of the black car towards Yellow Door, making sure nobody just runs in without at least him knowing, even if he misses his shots. England playing above in Connector, trying to deny as much control of the map as possible and to delay the attack as long as possible. He is being supported by Acid playing in the bathroom. Looks like Adam is using the angle that Adam was using before, but now Butters is going to be holding England in this corner. If England walks into his sights, that could be huge for the attack, but it doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. He's just going to be holding his ground. Crazy's taking a ton of damage. Looks like trying to fight against Acid in the bathroom. He's now trapped in this corner, so this is kind of precarious on both ends because Crazy's trapped, but Filthy's going to answer it back. England trades out Filthy, and then England's going to get another one onto Butters, knowing that Crazy's behind him. Crazy doesn't want to challenge because he's such low health, but they have to get England out of this position. They can't just leave him here and attack the site. If they do, I'm pretty sure they would lose the round 100%. England, however, does finally get taken out by Creators, and now the rest of the map should be in the control of the attackers, unless the defenders are just feeling real ballsy and just want to try to rotate up randomly. Vandal, watching the back, however, is just going to be sitting, lying in wait for any attackers trying to come from the Visa side of things. As looks like hatches are being... One hatch was opened up in bathroom, and now the wall looks like it's going to get opened up. And how are 2F going to finish this off? They do still have 2 smokes in hand, but Crazy is very low, so really all he can do is watch a rotation, watch a flank. Creators is going to rotate around, potentially getting ready to throw the smokes. No track stingers left. One smoke's going to be expended. See what it cuts off here. It cuts off the angle right at the bomb. The plant is going down. Beastly with one under Crazy. Beastly with another under Creators. And now a C4 for the 3. No, but it's still traded out immediately. And Rise Nation bringing 1 round back in their favor, but still not looking good for them. 2F are in firm position to take this first map still.
Yeah, firm position indeed, and that round just made things a little bit closer here, putting it at 6-3. But overall, I don't really see Rise coming back from this. It just looks like 2F has looked outstanding, and now that they have to go back over to lobby, I mean, they could go to CEO, but they choose to go to lobby instead. So an interesting choice. They went here in the first round, but nothing really came of it. There was a flawless round on the top floor, so it's definitely a good sight to see them go back down to the first floor as opposed to that second. But we'll be looking at like literally the exact same lineup coming out here from 2Faced.
Yeah, you can kind of see that if from the mentality of 2Faced right now, they lost attacking the garage. They say to themselves, that's not a big deal. We're still on match point. They have to defend weaker sites. We know that the garage is going to be the hardest site to attack with the thermite ban. So for them, that's not a big deal. Losing there is not a big deal. They're still in great position. They're confidently bringing the same operators. Most likely going to execute a similar attack that we saw before. It's going to be all up to Rise to see if they can counter that rush in, because it seems like it just came from the front door itself. They just rushed in from the front door, came from Visa also, cutting off that long hallway so that none of the defenders could flank from Spiral. And I wouldn't be surprised if 2Faced just attack it the same way. Vandal opening up the floor here near the garage. That's a nice angle, watching anybody trying to come from that direction. But Filthy knows that he's playing there. They could get up on the rappel and take him out, but I doubt they're going to be that aggressive that early. They're probably still just going to want to opt to play it out standardly, take map control the way that they're supposed to. Acid, the door opens up right next to him, and it looks like a rush, but he's going to trade one out. So that's Filthy getting traded out, and Butters just running straight into Adam's shots continuously. I don't know what he was thinking there, as Adam's going to take down another. Dream has been taken down now, and the diffuser is stuck in Piano, and that leaves the 2 remaining attackers outside to kind of reevaluate their position here.
That was an insane rush. I mean, you saw them try to go right through. I'm not sure what Butter's plan was there, as he just got shut down by the bullets coming from both directions, and it just kind of a bad call, I would say, to try to go for that rush. I mean, it's left you in a 4v2. It's always very 50-50. A rush is either going to go really well for your team, or it's just going to get completely shut down by the defense. It's just basically where the defense is positioned, and it's hard to know that because you're going for a rush, you're inside so fast, you don't really know where everybody on the defense is. And we see Adam here with this long angle trying to look for that 3K. He knows that the Thatcher is at this front door, and he's just waiting for him to get a little bit over zealous here and try to peek towards the spiral stairs. And if Adam gets the angle, he's definitely going to take the head right off of Crazy. But oh no, the timing here, unlucky for Adam, as he was holding the angle the entire time. But I mean, Crazy's just going to rotate right back, so he could get attacked to Adam. But no, it will be Adam to pick up that 3K on the round, looking for 4 possibly, as Creator's going to come right up spiral stairs. Does he know? He's got to know that the dock is right here, but does the dock know? It looks like he does, and it's going to be, yes, Adam to get that 4K on the round. right? Yeah.
Yeah. Adam was the one that actually got that kill somehow, even though it looked like in the kill cam Vandal got it.
Both the MP5.
Yeah, there really wasn't much that
7.
2Faced could do after their initial rush failed. I'm not quite sure what the call was, because, I mean, they had the drone in piano, right? Which is probably what sort of initiates that sort of like let's rush mentality. But, you know, where was the drone on yellow? Did they have a drone in garage to make sure that garage was clear itself? Like, yes, you know, Jaeger rotated down yellow instead of up yellow, but still, like, they had literally no intel of anybody that was there, and they all just shift W'd straight into Rise's shots. So, you know, that's a bit of a fail, like we
Attackers
talked
need to
about,
locate and
but
defuse bombs.
they're obviously confident, and now they know for sure, or at least can assume presumptuously, where Rise Nation are gonna defend. We rarely ever see teams go down into the archives and Teller's bomb site. It's just not an optimal site at the moment, at least not with the operators that are available. Maybe in the future an operator will be available that makes that site viable, or at least more viable than it is, I should say, because it's still technically viable, but it's really difficult to defend and attack sometimes. It's all about a sort of a man advantage scenario, in my opinion.
I feel like the only like region that we've really seen that site come into play is EU, and I know that G2 probably being literally the first team to show us some strats on that site. So I just don't think that it's reached the prowesses of Challenger League even yet. So
Yeah.
But either way, it will be the top 4 here. This was a flawless round previously for 2Faced, so look for them to try to make some stuff happen here. I mean, there are match point. They don't want this after being up 6-3. It'd look really bad or it wasn't even 6-2. No, it was 6-2. Yeah. Looking really bad for them if they throw this and they put this only get 1 point from this. I mean, that would be huge for Rise to secure at least a solid spot in second place. I mean, still not completely solid, but either way, they're definitely looking to try to get as many points out of this as possible.
Yeah, Rise in a position now that they could come back from this. Beastly actually opting to sit almost right on top of the buckhole. That would be, you know, the most, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? The most ridiculous spot he could sit in that scenario, given that Buck could literally look up and see his foot probably. But England's going to be given the call-outs as to where the positions of the attackers are located as he does get droned out. And it looks like England and Vandal are going to once again be trapped inside a piano, just holding it down on their own. The attackers could pinch them from the front door if they want, but it looks like they're not going to opt to try to do that at the moment, as they want to. Looks like they just want to get control of the bathroom, remove any players from yellow stairs, as we've talked about so much already. It's just getting control of yellow stairs on attack is the most important position, and Beastly looks straight at that player playing up above, and no shots going back from either of them. A little bit more of a pre-fire comes out from Beastly, but still nothing from Creators playing it patiently as he's going to give the call out that player rotated into the bathroom. Ooh, a C4 getting thrown out, and Butter's going to shoot it out of the air as he tries to pressure, but Beastly has been downed. England going to trade one back onto Filthy. Beastly can get revived, but the defenders can't rotate across that area to pick him up, so he's going to have to wait patiently. Creators goes back up to the roof to potentially try to stop him, as Vandal is still downstairs along with England, keeping control of Piano. Butters has no idea that he's to his right. He's going to look the wrong way most likely, but he's going to push up the staircase instead. Beastly now is actually getting picked up right in front of Butters. He's going to walk into the sights of Butters. A C4 comes flying out, and Vandal, nice throw from Butters through the hatch. What a great angle that was, but he's going to get traded out immediately as Crazy and Dream have both traded one back, and the plant is going down. Crazy now has to come up spiral and make something happen. Adam rotating his way onto yellow stairs. The plant has come off from the toxic canisters being thrown. Another toxic canister going out, but it's in the wrong position as the plant has rotated. Now he has to throw one more. Can he stop it? An Echo Drone going to stop it at just the right time. Crazy, however, takes down Acid, who is most likely still on his Echo Drone with only 5 seconds left now. The attackers have to make something happen. The spot's coming out. Crazy getting another, and Crazy coming in to finish everyone off out of nowhere, as they're all distracted doing something different. Crazy coming in with the huge flanks, taking out 3 of the defending players. My goodness, what a round out of him.
An insane round out of him indeed, and I mean that's gonna put the 3 points in the win column here for 2Faced. A big 3 points, as well as that's going to get them closer to that second round, or that second place position. 18-5 for Filthy on his birthday. The
Oh, it's his birthday
boy.
today too?
It is his birthday today.
Wow.
Insane plays coming out of the birthday boy, and honestly, that just looked very